Welcome. Here we are at the Worcester Senior Center with a healthy eating team. My name is Lindita and I'm a healthy eating leader for the healthy eating class that we hold here at the Worcester Senior Center. We have Young here, who is also a healthy eating leader at the Worcester Senior Center, and Wendy, a certified nutritionist who oversees the osteoporosis prevention program. So the reason we're doing this show is due to the closure, we cannot offer the workshop in person. So we are doing our best to give you some information that you might find helpful with some of the tips here by us and by Wendy, the nutritionist. And we hope you enjoy.
Okay, so let me introduce a little bit about Wendy. As you know, the Worcester Senior Center well-known osteoporosis prevention program, we offer the nutrition component, and Wendy is the nutritionist that's in charge of it. And she's not also doing the nutrition class, but present to the multicultural groups to discuss about various nutrition topics from different cultures. Her presentations were always well received, not only because of her interactive and friendly style, but also with her wealth of experience. We're lucky to have her with us on our show today. Let's meet Wendy Mitchley.
So I'll just tell you a little bit about myself to add to what Young said. I was actually born in the city, went to school in Boston many years ago, and now I'm back in Worcester, in Shrewsbury. I love teaching the programs here, the osteoporosis prevention nutrition part, plus nutrition classes on many topics for graduates of the program and the multicultural programs. I also counsel patients. Not as much recently with COVID, but that's another thing I do. So my philosophy is very, I would say, holistic and integrated, and I'm very practical with people because everybody has a unique health situation or pattern, and everything has to be individualized to the person. Especially here at the Senior Center where a lot of people have various medical problems. So that's what we do. Take the information that's out there and make it practical. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. So we have a few questions for you.
Okay.
And we're hoping you can help us with those. So our first question for you is, how do we eat well to best enhance our immune system?
Well, that's a big question right now because with the, we should eat well anyway, right? But with the COVID situation that's been going on for a few months, people are really needing to beef up their immunity and get as healthy as they can. So, the first thing is going back to just a baseline healthy diet, which is a variety of foods. And I know you people have the charts when you teach classes and the pictures. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, lean proteins, healthy fats, some dairy. What else did I leave out? Did I leave out a food group? And also not overdoing it with sugar, too much coffee, too much alcohol, too much bad fat. So it's kind of like trying to eat as healthy as we can, but limiting some of the, quote, bad stuff, but not giving it all up either. So we start there. Take a look at how you've been eating and get back on track if you've been off track.
Yeah, I see you bring some props to show how healthy bowl looks like. You want to show the audience?
So one of the things, and I have a magazine picture too I want to show, it's really good to try to eat a colorful diet because if you're eating a lot of vegetables and fruits, these are cherries and broccoli, you will automatically get a lot of nutrients that way. I think sometimes when people are stressed, which we're going to get into a little later, it seems like a lot of these foods go out the window. There's more, white food like bread, crackers, chips, etc. So, get back to eating a more colorful diet. And I have one picture here. This is actually from the National Geographic.
Nice.
It's a bunch of berries, and just looking at them, it makes me feel better anyway. So colorful things have a lot of antioxidant and immune-enhancing properties. Okay. Zero.
That's good tip.
And I
Yeah.
think it's been hard because we've been stuck at home. Our schedules are much different than what they used to be before.
Yeah.
So our habits have changed too. So it's important not to be hard on ourselves
Exactly.
in that way and just focus on changes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good time to take stock of what we're doing again and go, okay, I did what I did, or I did my best, and now let's see, how can I step up again?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Right, I've heard that vitamin D is very important for our immune system too. What do you think about that?
I totally agree. I know a lot of people talk about vitamin C, which is also important for the immune system, but vitamin D is overlooked sometimes. And we know it's important for bone health and interacting with calcium to have better, stronger bones, but it's also important for the immune system. I was reading that it's particularly important for respiratory issues. In the COVID situation, that can be one of the organs, the lungs being involved. So if somebody doesn't know their vitamin D level, it's good to get it checked at the doctor's. Can also take a supplement, but not overdo it till you know your own lab number.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And what is your advice on vitamin supplements, and do you recommend any in particular?
Yes, as a matter of fact, let's see, have my little sheet here about them. So first of all, with supplements, number one, you want to try to eat a healthy diet. So just eating a bunch of like vitamin pills is not going to take care of it. So start with eating a healthy diet like we just talked about, eating a variety. But then if you want to add some supplements, do it in a smart way. In other words, don't take mega doses of everything. Some people read something, oh, I'm going to take a lot of this or that, and actually, but there's practical amounts to take. So I looked up an article on building the immune system during the current COVID situation, and the supplements that most people agreed on were, number one, take a basic daily multivitamin mineral tablet, because it's got, besides the vitamins, it's got a little bit of zinc in it, which is good for the immune system. Let's see, vitamin D was 1,000 to 2,000 IUs per day, and that's the D3 form. Vitamin C, you can take 75 to 500 milligrams a day, but that also might be in your multivitamin, so you just have to line them up and see what you're getting from what. You could take a little zinc, but it may be in your multivitamin mineral. You don't want to overdo zinc because it could be toxic. So that's the thing, you just take the small doses they recommend, don't do mega doses. And the last one was B complex. Some people take that too. B complex is good for the nervous system, and there's a lot of anxiety situations happening with what's going on. So that would be my list.
Okay.
Great.
And we'll get to probiotics a little bit later.
Right.
When we're talking
Yeah.
about another, but
Yeah.
that's another supplement I recommend.
I don't have the ingredients in front of me, but sometimes we have a lot of loose vegetables and fruits in the fridge. I know myself, I have a lot of loose spinach always. I seem to always buy a bag and then throw it away. But we can do something pretty yummy with our green spinach, and we always wonder how to get more veggies and greens. So like I said, I don't have the food in front of me, but I'm going to give you a simple recipe, and there's no measuring involved. It's a handful of spinach, a handful of berries or frozen fruit, whatever you have, orange juice, however much you feel, and maybe half a banana just to give this a creamy flavor. What we're trying to do is make a smoothie. So again, handful of spinach, handful of frozen berries, some orange juice, and half a banana, and just blend that all up. Right there you have, the juice counts as a serving of fruit. If it, has enough nutrients for that, checking in with a nutritionist. And right there you have 3 servings of fruit and vegetables. And now's the perfect time because of summer. We have a lot of fresh berries out at the farmer's market, at the grocery stores. So don't waste your green spinach, make a smoothie. So that's my next time. Hopefully we get on next time. I'd like to do a demonstration of that.
So can we throw a few walnuts in it
Yeah,
for protein?
and or almonds too.
Or almonds too,
Yeah.
You can, and if you have a protein powder at home, you can just put half a scoop in it too, whatever you'd like. You can get
Right.
creative.
Right.
I just want to show this. I think this fits in here. This, I don't. Can you get a picture of this chart? We've talked a lot about the vegetables, the greens, and berries, and all that. I don't know if you can see, but there's high bars here and low bars here. So the high bar is like kale, spinach, leafy greens, and the very bottom one is sugar. And then, it just goes up that way. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with greens. They're low in calories and loaded with nutrients. So,
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. So mention about get the good bang for our buck. During the last few months, I've heard many people, especially seniors, especially women, told me that they've been gaining weight because of stress eating, or they don't have good fresh fruits and vegetables available. So they keep eating the dry or the prepared or the packaged food. So what's your advice on that? If people already got off their track, how can they get back on?
well, the other thing I want to add to, a lot of people have been cooking a lot more. And cooking doesn't always mean vegetables. It might be baking. I know a lot of people are baking, so there's more goodies around many people's homes too. So, but the first thing is just don't beat yourself up about it, because that doesn't help us. So you can say, okay, this is a little off track. I want to get back on track, and then take a seat. And I often write lists for myself of what I'd like to do, because when we write things down, there's more power to that sometimes. You can make a new shopping list. You can decide you're not keeping chocolate chips in the house anymore for a while, or potato chips.
Yeah, that's what I been storing.
Whatever it is, because I know the chocolate chip thing. One of my cousins brought us all kinds of foods in case we couldn't get out of the house, and one of them was a bag of chocolate chips. So those are gone. They did not go into the cookies either. But so take a list and just say I'm going to try to buy these things, and you can shop a little more carefully and still get a few treats, but put some thought into it, and you'll feel more empowered, in charge. You want to feel in charge again.
Oh,
That's what I
thank
would
you.
say.
I start doing that from this weekend on. I hope, because I myself also gained a few weights for the last few months.
Oh, and
Not doing enough exercise.
People were bringing us homemade Swedish Christmas
Yeah.
cookies. All kinds of stuff.
It's Christmas in July.
So anyway, yeah, so time to just get back on track. You'll feel better too. The thing is, when we eat like that, sometimes we don't feel as well. You might be low energy and, but lethargic, so yeah,
Right.
you'll feel better.
Right, yeah.
I think I was definitely doing that, but my new rule is 1 treat per week.
That's very, yeah,
When I go to the
smart.
store, I just buy one, because
Yeah.
I know I can't eliminate it. That's not my lifestyle, but trying to be better and doing one a week.
I like that idea, because you still have something to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Just something to award ourselves.
Yep.
But I'm not distracted by a shelf full of them that I always want to go to.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
that's my change.
Very
Oh,
good.
thank you for your advice. So I'm going to share it with the ladies that told me about the gaining weight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Forgive yourself first. Don't get mad at yourself, and then, regroup about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is very good quarantine advice. And especially with quarantine and eating all of this food that we're talking about, maybe what some might call junk food or some might call treat food, whatever we call it, it might have messed with our digestive system.
Oh yeah.
So what do you feel, what about probiotic supplements?
Yeah, I have a few that I'm going to list in a minute, but again, get back to, first of all, trying to eat healthier. Because if you've been eating a lot of sugar and starch that turns into sugar, it's really feeding, quote, the bad bacteria in your intestines and can cause a lot of distress. Also, if people need to eat gluten-free and they haven't not been, that's going to wreak havoc in the intestines too. So first of all, so start eating well again, and then you might want to add something which we call probiotics. Just a simple definition is they're good bacteria. They're for life as opposed to against life, probiotics. And our systems are filled with, I don't know how many, billions of bacteria in especially our intestinal area, which we need those there for digestion and immunity too. So you can get them, probiotics, from some foods, and you can also get supplements like capsules too. So first of all, the foods. So I listed about 11, and there's probably 15, but it depends on which article you've been reading. But these are some common ones that we can get around here. Kimchi, which is a Korean fermented cabbage.
My favorite.
Me too.
And I was looking at some of the recipes. You can put different things in it. Besides cabbage, you can put other vegetables and spices and mix it in with rice once it's prepared, right?
Yeah.
So it sounds delicious. Kombucha tea, you told me you like that.
I like that, yeah.
And that's made with bacteria and yeast cultures. You have to keep it in the refrigerator, right? Once you've started?
Yes.
Yeah, because it can spoil.
It can spoil, and they usually come in single servings or 2 servings in a bottle.
Okay, and then kefir, is that how we say it? Kefir. It's a sippable yogurt. It's a milk product, but the way that they make it, most of the milk sugar is gone, which might be good with somebody who has lactose problems. And there's 12 plus cultures, often bacterial cultures, added to it. For the Indian culture, there's a drink called lassi, Lassi, which has active cultures too. And then we have yogurt, but you want to look for active cultures on the container. So a couple Japanese items, miso paste.
Yes.
Is made from
we use that a lot.
Yeah, fermented soybeans. And then natto is fermented soybeans itself, but the miso is paste. And then some kinds of pickles, not all pickles, but the ones in the pickle barrel, because they're in brine. So the pickles made in brine with water and salt have a fermentation process, so people like those. Sauerkraut has been around forever, but if it's the kind in the supermarket made with vinegar, that's not as good. It's better if it's homemade with live cultures. Sourdough bread has lactobacillus, which is a bacteria. And also there's a lot of products where they've started adding probiotics to them, like dark chocolate, Attune, Attune brand. I haven't seen that. I'm sure you can get it at natural food stores. All right. And if somebody's taking a supplement, like a capsule, I wouldn't start at the highest dose, because you really don't know. I mean, you might think it'll be good for me, but maybe not. You should try a smaller dose, like 3 to 5 billion. I know that sounds like a lot, but actually that's a small dose. So, so there's many ways to improve our intestinal tract. Eat better to start with, and then consider adding probiotics.
Yes.
Okay.
I have to say, Young made me a really yummy kimchi once, and it was very, very spicy. So, just beware if you don't like spicy foods, you might not want to get kimchi.
Oh, hot! It was hot spicy.
Yeah, because the real Korean kimchi, they put the Korean hot pepper in it, so that is very spicy. But you don't have to put that much.
You don't have
You just put a little bit for color and flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I enjoyed it personally, but very
so
spicy.
if we have time, to be on TV again, we can do the demonstration.
Oh yeah.
To have Americanized kimchi.
I'll try it.
Okay. Yeah. So we've been talking a lot about food, and we need food for our nutrients. But in order to make the balanced lifestyle, I think it's important to do exercise, right?
Yeah.
So right now we don't have classes open, but people can do something at home. So what's your advice on exercise?
Well, one thing, I mean, what can you do at home? You can walk, but not during the day when it's so hot out. You know, I mean, it's been harder to walk. I'm just saying I haven't walked as much as I used to. But, or you can walk in the evening or morning before it gets really hot. My mother, who's 95, has been just walking around the house because I don't want her, I told her you can't go out when it's 100 degrees. And she's a good walker. You can do exercises, you can watch videos of programs. Some of my friends teach yoga, and you can watch their yoga classes. There's always
Right.
something you could do.
Yeah, so the Senior Center also recorded quite a few video of exercises from yoga to aerobic and Tai Chi and fitness. So we can watch on channel 122 or on YouTube. Worcester Senior Center, stay connected.
And
Or gardening, if you have a garden, that's also exercise. There's a lot of things, you know, that incorporated into your regular life we can call exercise too.
Yes, and I was going to ask Young, is that every day, Channel 192?
Yes,
So
it's
they
almost
can-
every day. And
Oh, except Thursdays. Except Thursdays. Every day except Thursdays on Channel 192, there's exercise. That's awesome.
right, but on YouTube they can always view it on their own at their own schedule.
Yeah, so me personally on YouTube, I've been searching meditations. So I just search 5-minute meditations or, you know, any exercise I want to do. You could even pick a length of time. So if you don't want to do a 30-minute workout, you can type in 10-minute workout.
Yeah.
So that's a little tip if you want to search. All right.
You know, I just want to say that's like even 5 or 10 minutes is better than 0 minutes. Because sometimes people stop doing things and they're not doing anything. So 10 minutes is great if you've been off track, just to get back doing something.
yeah, really,
and slowly increasing it again.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
and most importantly, blood circulation and keeping our, you know, our heart healthy and our bones healthy. This is so important that we keep moving. So
Also good for stress reduction.
stress reduction.
Oh, right. Yes, yes. Instead of chocolate,
Yeah.
doing exercise, right? Yeah, so after the exercise, you can eat the chocolate.
Yeah, we made it up.
But what if people find exercise stressful?
You know what, there's always some little thing you can do to move more. You know, I don't like going to the gym, and they weren't open anyway, but, you know, so you can just get rid of those things you won't do, but then what else is there? Just even housework counts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
walking.
That's not fun either, but
I like walking these days, you know, just walking around the block
Yeah.
when I can.
yeah.
That's my favorite.
So for people who love music, dancing or Zumba can also be a choice. So you can use your favorite music and then just dance along. So that's what my mom usually does at home.
And what would you say, Wendy, what does a lack of exercise do to our health?
Oh. Well, I mean, you mentioned a couple that it's good for, like heart health, it's good for bone health, but it's also good if somebody's got borderline blood sugars or borderline blood pressure issues. It helps keep those down. So that's really important. Also, you know, when we're stressed, we put out more cortisol, which can make people gain weight actually by having, so the exercise will keep that down too. So it's just beneficial and helps people sleep better if they're exercising, usually. As long as you don't exercise right before you go to bed, because then you're more awake. But yeah, there's just so many things it's good for.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Thank you.
So let's get back. I think you mentioned before that people cook more during the quarantine time, but you know, shopping is not as easy as before.
No.
So what tips do you have for people in terms of shopping and cooking?
Well, I'll go back to the list again. I always write a list, especially these days. Seems like I don't remember things as well with everything going on, so I really need a list. And I also do my mother's shopping, and she gives me coupons, so I have to see if they're on the shelf. I have to look for that. But I always make sure there's a bunch of vegetables and some fruit. And I think about the food groups when I'm shopping, so that's one thing. Think about the food groups. Do I have something from every group? Do I have a source of protein? You know, and that's so you can think that way. And then the one treat. There's a lot of sales that are when you get the papers or you online. You can look at sales. What's on sale this week? If you want a pizza once in a while, go ahead. You know, but not every day. So
that's tough.
that could be a treat too.
That's a bummer, but okay.
Well, you could, but you might be gaining weight and have your blood pressure go up.
Oh no.
So and then what was the other part of that question? Cooking.
Yeah. Also for those who don't cook, then what should they shop for to get the best bang from your
Well, you can also get portions that are already ready to buy, like that they cook at the supermarket now. You can buy a meal, which you can actually make 2 meals out of. All the stores do that now.
An order, you can separate them into 2 types.
But I know near the deli section, there's usually salads and meat and chicken and all that. You can get that, and that's one good thing. You can get food to go once a week, or however your budget can afford that. You can get 2 meals out of one order usually because they're huge.
Yeah.
But I would sit down and talk to your family members or write some thoughts down of what you'd like to do.
Right. Yeah. For us, as senior service workers, we also work with people who are low income. So we advise them to use their SNAP, which is Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, to get the healthy incentive benefit, which is additional $40 a month on top of their SNAP benefit. At the farmers market, and during the summertime, the farmers markets open until the end of October. So it is a very good way to get fresh fruit and vegetable, and actually those $40 worth of fruit and vegetable are free. Yeah, in addition to their regular shopping.
In Shrewsbury, I checked on it. It's open till September 30th. And every Wednesday, 2:30 to 6, and the first half hour is for 60 and older to shop.
Nice, yeah. Right.
At the grocery stores.
Yeah, we have a list of the farmers market in Worcester and the mobile farmers market stop. So we're gonna post it on the show for people to check out.
Yes. And just to maybe a little bit about HIP. What the $40, you spend it at the market and they return it to your card within a week, I believe, or the next day. So if you go to the farmer's market, you spend $40 and then they put it right back. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what a lot of the seniors have been doing. Anybody who receives SNAP has been doing, and it's been helping out a lot.
Okay, right. So, Wendy, you have any final words for our audience?
I would say I think it's a good time to decide how maybe take some steps towards better self-care, and I don't mean it as a guilt trip thing or anything, just geez, I really would like to feel better. The fall's coming. There's a lot of seasonal things that change in September, so it's a good time to reassess ourselves and how we want to make ourselves feel better. That would be my advice. But again, not beating yourself up about what went wrong, just what could I do, to feel better, take better care of my family, that sort of thing. And maybe just take 2 or 3 little steps. You don't have to do 10 things.
Right.
Make a couple steps.
And it's never late to start eating healthy again, right?
Yeah. But sometimes people feel like there's so many things they're not doing right and don't want to start at all. So just pick one, couple that you'd like to, that are doable, and work on those.
Right. Yeah.
And one more thing, if anybody that we know in the community has food insecurity, having trouble getting food, or just has questions about where to get food, you can always call us here at the Worcester Senior Center. We can give you some direction on that and make sure that everybody has enough to eat. So please give us a call and we can help direct you better. And I'll say her phone number, right? Yeah,
Right, 508.
508-799-1232. You could just leave a message at that main line.
Eat great, feel great. Thank you very much.
Thank
so
you.
long.